Yahoo Answers user Molly. Molly asks, and this question was sent in by TJ Mad. Thank you, TJ Mad. Molly asks, how do you treat someone with an obsession with sticky buns? I'm sick of the questions, and the buns are mounting. So is the mold. He won't talk about anything else. You will see him on Yahoo. He's the one with an obsession with sticky buns. That was a fully formed sentence.
That was my favorite episode of Hoarders. Did you guys see that one?
I think it was subtitled A Sticky Situation.
I guess the only thing you can do is get them hooked on an even more delicious food. Although you'd be hard pressed.
Super donut. It's super donuts.
Oh, Jesus. I'm obsessed with super donuts, but the fact that I'm not in elementary school keeps me from eating them for every meal.
Yeah, what's up with super donuts? Does anybody have any of those right now in this podcast?
If you work at a school, a public institution, we will trade you wampum style super donuts for t-shirts.
Whoa.
It's a new initiative, the Super Donuts for T-shirts initiative.
Yeah.
They're full of a lot of super donuts.
They are so full of nutrients and full of flavor, and they're always soggy. No matter
always. Except that last bit, because they're microwaved, and that last bit is always hard.
That last bit is hard, like some sort of donut scab.
That's where the nutrients are. You gotta suck the nutrients out. But you guys, wait! Don't tell me you've been eating that. That's the rind. You can't eat the rind of the super
I didn't know.
donut.
That's nature's handle. You're not supposed to eat that part of the super donut.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
I when I moved into my new house, the gas station right by sold super donuts, and they were right between like the bombs and the lottery tickets. There was just a big box of super donuts.
They should be
sounds like
the bongs.
The coolest department of that gas station.
It is.
So, do you think there are people who went to school in places where there weren't super donuts that have literally no idea what we're talking about?
We sound like mad people, like just crazy people.
Like people that don't know what breakfast pizza is?
Just Google it and you'll find out. But basically they're delicious. Donuts with nutrients and a rind. If you change your mind. So I want to hear the last question. We have something to talk about really quick.
Oh,
I heard Griffin, I heard you had maybe kind of a bad experience.
Well, last week's episode, we talked quite a bit about the foodstuffs.
Not last week's. Our bad.
The foodstuffs, if you can even call it that, known as super donuts. I think the three of us were looking back on that particular food with rose-tinted goggles. I think that maybe our memories of super donuts were sweeter than the actual food itself. Because I recently had or took part in a super donut party when I was back in Huntington visiting, and holy shit, those things are so awful.
What?
They're so bad.
Let me posit you this question. Is it possible they've changed the formula?
I think it's very possible, because I don't remember them tasting like wienerless corn dogs, which is the only way I can describe the flavor they're in. Which, if that sounds appealing to you, then you're a monster. It was really bad. We even warmed them up. We microwaved them and we toasted them on a fire. Neither method made them edible. So that's my opinion on it, but we have a second opinion from close, dear, sweet friend of the show, Evan Minsker, which I'd like to read. Okay. Evan Minsker's Super Donuts, a counterpoint. Hello, Brothers McRoy. Evan Minsker here. After the last episode of My Brother, and Me, the Brothers Minsker decided to throw a Super Donuts party at the Minsker family home. We procured the Super Donuts from S&J Market in Barbersville, bought far too many of them, 27 donuts total, started a fire in the backyard, had beer and hot dogs, and, of course, the donuts. Upon eating the donuts, most of us learned that our nostalgia for Super Donuts outweighed the actual taste. As Griffin put it, they taste like corn dogs without actual dogs inside. He informed everyone present that on this week's show, he would go on the record and tell the world not to eat super donuts. All of this is true so far. I've done all of that. That's where I take issue. Okay, so yes, they do taste like corn dogs. On that point, I concede. But now that the party's over, I was left with approximately 16 super donuts. Yes, that means I have to either eat all of them or give them away. So here I am doing God's work, eating super donuts every effing day until I run out. But there's a twist to this story. I have become acclimated to the corn dog with a hint of cinnamon taste. I think I've gotten in touch with my inner elementary schooler, and alas, I think they're terrific. Fun fact, did you know that a super donut fulfills the USDA requirement for a fruit or vegetable as well as a bread? It's true, and they're full of vitamins. Oh man, there are so many vitamins. They have to print the ingredients on a transparent background, making it impossible to see what it is that you're actually ingesting. So, brothers, I say this. If you're going to tell listeners not to eat super donuts, make one amendment. Don't just eat one super donut. Buy 27 and be forced to eat about 16 of them. The nostalgia and deliciousness and heartburn will kick in after donut 6. The shame kicks in around 12. God bless Evan Minsker.
So, Evan, thank you for that heartfelt. Evan proves a rule, something I've always believed, that if you expose yourself to anything enough, your opinion on it will reverse.
I think Evan's got super donut. I think he's got super donut Stockholm syndrome, and I think that they taste worse than AIDS, and no one should ever eat them ever.
I think that's probably stretching it. I bought one on eBay, so we'll see how that.
Did you really?
Hell no! What? Buy donuts on eBay? What are you, a child?
Evan actually gave me a big
of them sitting next to the bongs at my local gas station. I plan on eating one.
Did you say next to the dongs?
Yeah, next to the dong nats.
They're the worst food I've ever consumed. Evan gave me a bag of them to give to you guys, and I forgot, for which you're welcome.
Is it possible that they are both the best and worst food you've ever consumed? Because 12 years ago, they were totally the best food.
Yeah, they were really good 12 years ago.
Maybe they're just the same ones. So they fermented.
They stopped making them in 1993.
Exactly.